What?
I didn't get the yawn out.
Oh.
I looked down, I was keeping notes, and I just saw Plain Jane's pen name was Cox Distink.
Oh, yeah.
And it made me laugh. Dustinque. I got my second win. Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
I'm Kristen.
And this is I'm watching RuPaul's Drag Race, Season 16, Episode 4. Something
5.
about girl groups.
Girl groups.
Titanic. No, actually, they sang ASMR Lover, which I do. No, I listened to this one
Album.
Ru album. I've listened to a couple of them, but this one I listened to because it's the one that had, I think it's the one that has Blame It on the Edit. And I kind of that's top tier. Well, okay, so Amanda went home.
Yeah. R.I.P.
I'm really bummed.
This season feels chaotic in a fresh way.
Yeah, no, I'm really liking it.
But the order of eliminations feels...
Well, I didn't know. That's sort of like I have a hard time starting sometimes because it's like I was actually feeling ways about the progression of the characters, for lack of a better word, and I was surprised. Amanda's just had such a main character edit up until this point.
Yeah.
And she's not the best. Like, all the things that they've said about her being a little less polished than the others is all very true. But she has a very infectious can-do energy.
Yeah.
That also merges into like a little sister quality. She could be a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
But in a way that I think largely added to her appeal.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite an underdog thing, but we wanted to see her do well.
Well, and also, I really resist the notion that a couple of the queens had in this, where it's like, you still need to grow, and this isn't the place for it. As if we haven't seen
just a talking point.
Multiple queens grow. Is it like the Michelle hates green until she doesn't?
Yeah, that happens. That's one of the main critiques of the series as a whole, is that the rubric is very vibey, and it's sort of what, and so that's why I'm like, when in doubt, remember it's a TV show.
Sure, because
there's a lot of people that'll be like, well, you got praised for doing this, but I got sent home for that.
Because that was the thing where it's like, in the season with Miss Vanjie, they were like, you have to stop just relying on the body, and like all you do is wear bodysuits and blah 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 blah. And then there's been queens since then, and I'm like, all they're fucking doing is wearing a bodysuit. How come it's not okay for them? Which, I mean, fair, but also it's like as if other queens haven't totally. And she took the note about her makeup. She was an excellent dancer.
And she was taking it. And again, and she came out and was really bodying that routine.
Yeah.
And in fact, actually almost even a little too much. I was almost sort of like, pull back a little bit, like give 20% of your enthusiasm to Q. And I wasn't done. I'm in a real world place with these queens where I more so want to watch them interact with each other than I want to take them off one by one.
Yeah.
And it like
it's in that sense too, that not the last season, but the
there was like 2 years ago where nobody went home.
Well, the all winners, all stars, that I was like, that really spoiled me, because I'm like,
well, it was also such a caliber.
It was such a caliber, but it's like, I just want to like watch these bitches hang out. Like
that makes way more sense for an all stars.
Of course it does. Yeah. But then also, like, at this point now, I also feel like Plain Jane. I feel like she won now, and I'm like mad about it.
But this is the most interested I've been in her yet, because I feel like this is the least amount of acting she's been doing, and they kind of like Q called her out, because that's another thing, is it's like Q was really in her feelings about being safe.
Yeah.
And look, I get it. Again, I get it. But it's like, it was falling on deaf ears, and Plain, which she corrected, Amanda, I think, I forget who, she corrected somebody, and she wants to go by Plain, so it's Plain.
I guess.
But she was the one that was sort of like, okay, girl, but you did good, and like, Mirage went home, so shut up. You know what I mean? Like, it just, and I feel like that needed to be said. And I think because she has the villain energy, Q was like, I'm going to go nip this in the bud. And Plain was a little bit more, like, I would never use the word timid, but she was hearing them more than I expected her to based on her behavior in the first 3 episodes.
Sure.
And she in no way was walking anything back, but it was sort of like, you run into this refrain that you get from people, especially on the fucking internet, where they're like, it's my opinion, as if all opinions are equally valid.
Yeah.
And they're just not.
Well, it's also
just because everybody has an opinion doesn't mean. And
it's also like, fine, you can have your opinion, but like it's just the same as like, well, it's my like First Amendment rights for freedom of speech or whatever. And it's like, okay, yeah, you can say whatever you want, but you have to be willing to accept the consequences. There are consequences for saying whatever you want.
And based on this information or this episode, I was getting that direction a little bit from Plain Jane. Like, I was getting the kind of like she didn't write Amanda a letter, and that's a level of restraint I wouldn't have. I mean, not that I think she was going to, but it's just that to be like, this isn't for me. I'm not going to participate in this ritual.
Although she could have like written her a nice note, like, sorry we didn't like connect or whatever, but.
If I were Amanda, I would kind of be like,
well, yeah.
I don't know. Because we talked a little bit in our watch along, and this is one of the places where reality TV makes me a little bit uncomfortable because I want to talk about these people like they're characters on a TV show and not real people.
Yeah.
And so anything that I'm saying is coming from a place of several filters,
yeah.
several layers, including editors and producers and stuff. But it was like, the way that Plain Jane zeroed in on Amanda, I'm not really because she sort of identified her as a weak link, and it's almost as if she bit off more than she could chew.
Yeah,
like maybe I guess she didn't realize that the other girls were gonna rally or come to Amanda's defense quite as much.
Yeah, because I mean, yes, Amanda was technically a weak link, but she wasn't as weak as Plain Jane thought she was, and I think she could have gone over much lower hanging fruit, gone after.
But I also don't want to watch that.
No, but also or go for the like people that are at the top. Then like start going. Well, she's terrified of Saphira. She can't go for Saphira. Like,
they all are kind of rightfully so.
Yeah.
But it's almost as if I almost think that maybe she overestimated Amanda. Like maybe she thought Amanda would play more, and when Amanda's so in her feelings, but then she didn't actually backtrack.
No, yeah, and I don't know that it's necessarily that Amanda's too in her feelings. I think Plain Jane was
Amanda's vulnerable. There's a vulnerability to her.
I think Plain Jane was trying to establish dominance and was just like, you. And then Amanda was like, I'm not taking this shit.
Mm-hmm. As cliche as this talking point is, what it was giving me, again, through the layers of TV, was it was giving me schoolyard bully / crush, where it was sort of like, are you trying to pick on her into being, craving your approval?
Well, that backfired.
You know, and it just...
Because it's like, you can't go too far, or then Amanda's like, if you give me your approval, I've done something wrong.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, based on that conversation with Q and Plain Jane and Amanda and Saphira was kind of involved in that. Based on that conversation, I wanted 2 or 3 more weeks of those people sort of feeling each other out a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it feels really cut short in a strange way. The girl group, I can take or leave those. Having said that, I thought these were actually pretty strong numbers. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so too, but I do think that the weakest one won.
I do too. And again, I don't want to do that because they were very much presented as the underdogs, and I'm not trying to pile on.
No, I don't think they should have. I mean,
like, they didn't do a bad job at all.
But also, this is another place where like the arbitrary rules and the weird rubric kind of comes through, because they don't always get judged as a team in these challenges either. So they got judged as a team. All 4 of them were safe, and then it's like the rest of them were all in the bottom. And I'm like, okay,
yeah,
I guess. So like 8 girls were in the bottom.
We just really, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I just liked the first song the most. And I think I was that taken with Plasma's wig.
Rose wig
I liked all four of the first group's look, and it seems like all of the critiques came down the hardest on them. So I guess I don't know. I guess
okay, the way that they really laid into Q for her outfit in the number was weird. That's such a basic bitch look for you. And I was like, first of all, are not most girl groups presented as like a basic bitch aesthetic? Is that not like what the thing is? And then in the second place, in no way was it any more basic than the Dawn's was the one that was the most exciting.
I found them as a group the most visually appealing, because the second group was like pink and black, and
Which
the third group was yellow and black.
Yeah.
And so I
just don't care for yellow, so it didn't do anything for me. So it was visually not impressive to me. It was like fine, like, and I think they all were just like the same amount of fine. Like all four of them were just the same amount of like even across the board.
Which, and I mean, this is I would say this is a pretty evenly matched crop group of girls, and so when that is the case, then yeah, you do have to start nitpicking some of this bullshit stuff. I'm with you. I was sort of like, oh, okay, well, the opposite of how I appraised that is, I guess, what we're going with.
So we did end up getting a real Olympic style thing where I'm like, ooh, beautifully done, twisty spin on the ice skating, and the judges are like, that's gonna cost her 3 points. And I'm like, okay, I guess, fuck me.
The heel of her left foot never left the ground.
Yeah, whatever.
I guess it's the bulk of like the drama.
Yeah.
The guest was Icona Pop. That was fun. So okay, I mean, I guess from there we'll go into the looks.
The runway, yeah, which were pretty good. 13 going on 30.
Oh, I was gonna actually say, because to my understanding, they wrote their own verses. I thought it was I thought everybody wrote pretty good verses.
I think so too.
And there's been this running joke in the like talking heads and commentators and stuff that every season you get Mama Ru, I've come to snatch the crown, and I feel like we finally kind of have retired that talking point. I don't know. The songs kind of worked for me. Those RuPaul songs really get get in there.
They are earworms.
Oh, that was another talking point. I kind of shaded, or I didn't have any real strong thoughts or opinions on Morphine in like our first episode, and I've warmed up to her, or she's warmed up to me. I'm not sure, but I guess and they even said, I thought, and I was thinking this before Michelle even made the critique on the runway, but I guess it was the BBL part that I just was sort of like, I need to get past that.
Why is that your only personality trait?
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with it. Like, I have no moral or ethical stance either way, but I was sort of like, okay, but like, what are you other than that? And she's getting a lot of talking heads, and her personality, I guess, started coming out more.
Yeah, well, Mhi'ya too.
Yeah. Well, you've been waiting for that.
I've been waiting for that, and that's actually another reason why I'm sort of mad that team won, because like I wanted somebody to give her flowers and be like, we finally saw your personality, because she's felt so shy and like very closed in on herself the whole time, and this really felt like a blossoming.
But it was all, yes, but then it was part of a girl group, and they were just sort of were like, you won, and
goodbye.
They went backstage.
Yeah, and I wanted her to get a critique, like a good critique. So yeah.
Okay, so the theme.
Faster pussycat wig.
Well, I was going to say the themes have been on point this season as well, but it was faster pussycat wig, and it did take me till the third to get the
I didn't know that was called a pussycat wig.
Yeah.
Or like pixie cut is what
Pixie cut is more like what Diabetti did, that one.
Oh.
They're similar, but I mean, they're kind of the same.
Yeah.
I feel like the finger waves factor more into Pussycats than...
You're going to hit the wrong button. Also, Rue's dress was amazing.
Oh, good.
So pretty.
Now, I loved this.
Yeah.
First of all, I love that gimmick.
Yeah.
The scratching yourself right when she came out. And I'm just so relieved that she just did a take on the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman.
Yeah.
Because iconic. No one's saying it's not.
Yeah.
But it is well-trodden territory.
Well, and I liked the very, like...
What
do you even want to call, like,
the hips?
Yeah, and then it was like a mermaid. I don't know. It was good. I liked it.
The long, mellow fart noise.
What did I make a fart noise about yesterday? The Killers of the Flower Moon. Didn't like it.
But everything about this, the wig, the crystallization in the wig.
And of the blood then too, yeah. But you're right that it's like in the hair as well is very good. And then the scratches on the butt when she turns around.
Yeah.
Actually, if anything, I wish the hips were just like a scotch higher. It makes her torso feel a little strange.
She does have a long torso,
shape,
but
so I would like 2-3 inches maybe. But I mean, it doesn't look bad. It like looks very cartoonish on purpose. It's stunning.
When we said that though, I was like, I want the camel toe though. But yeah.
And she made it. She can't be good at everything, so she's not good at dancing. Give her a break.
But I'm just sort of like I don't know, the bottom.
Not good?
No, the fact that they put her in the bottom.
Oh, yeah,
like,
unacceptable.
Yeah. This one was really good. It took me out.
Okay, because, like, Saphira has been, like, obviously the opera lyrics were, like, very funny, but she's been presenting as very, like, regal and, like, above, a lot of stuff. And so, like, for her to then turn around and do this hysterical Dr. Evil take on this.
And the fact that the Dr. Evil was the last part,
yeah,
because that's not Dr. Evil to me,
yeah,
until it was,
yeah,
and I was like, oh, that's funny.
When she did the face so good with the pinky and everything,
and to just have the fucking little cat puckered anus and the face,
so silly.
I died, and then she just carried
and then,
it,
like eyes, like so fun, because it's actually also like sort of Gloria Swanson, like it's very funny. Because then the gray makes sense. You're like, oh, I get it now.
Okay.
You mentioned in the watch along.
This is a very good, very well put together look. But the issue I'm having, and I like Dawn a lot.
Me too. I like Dawn's talking heads a ton. And
I'm telling you, she's foxy.
Yeah.
And because I mentioned 3, I was like, Dawn is playing a long game.
Yeah.
A lot of people love to talk about playing games and strategy and stuff.
Well, last week I think we decided on 4D chess because like you can't even fully tell she's playing a game.
The issue I'm having is I'm finding all of her stuff starts to blur together.
A little. Whereas like even like Willow Pill didn't all blend together.
Because I'm sort of like, so how is this look any different than any other look she's done?
Sure.
And I mean, yes, I know that she was purple in one look and then pink in another.
Now she's blue.
Now she's blue. And I get all that, but it's like there's she's very detailed and the details are all very good, but it kind of turns into like a patchwork quality.
Sure.
Where it's like it's red and polka dot one day, but it's like green and stripey the next, but in such a way that they just sort of, I can't distinguish between them.
I totally understand what you're saying. Or because it's also sort of like red with white polka dots one day, and then the next day it's white with red polka dots, and you're like, I don't really. I think you think you're doing something different, and you're not. And also, Michelle did give her the note, like, get away from the elf ears. Like, we need to see.
I mean, do them, but not only them.
But we need to see a broader scope of.
And even like the pussycat wig, because they even said when she turned around, you could see it in the back. And it's like, okay, fine, technically.
Yeah.
But nothing about this look
is.
I could pussycat? Never remember this was the pussycat wig look.
Yeah.
Like
agreed. Like, honestly, why didn't you be Patty Mayonnaise? You know? Because this sort of has the energy of Patty Mayonnaise. Alien Patty Mayonnaise. But
it's like there's so many layers and so many details that it all starts to blend.
Yeah, agreed. I liked it.
I didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
I do. I appreciate, here's one thing, because it's certainly not my favorite thing she's done, but I appreciate that she's not stuck in the the mid-century. Like, she's showing range.
Well, and I loved her Chromatica, like, girl group look. But
and the aforementioned wig.
This to me looks like cosplay, like you're going to Comic-Con or MegaCon.
She's a drag queen.
It looks like if I saw it in person, I'd be like, oh wow, this is really. I don't know. It doesn't feel as elevated.
That's fine. I mean, that's fine. I still kind of like it, but I get your criticism.
There's just, and especially after Megami just did the gold-tipped feathered wing headpiece. It's very Sailor Moon.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
I could not make heads or tails of this look.
So I was focused very much on the well, she's got the wig is correct. And again, in a vacuum, it's fine. It's silly, but
creative.
It's fine. But once you realize that it's sort of supposed to, it's not just about the wig shape. It's supposed to be kind of.
It's giving me world's biggest ball of yarn. I kind of misunderstood the assignment.
Sure.
That's what it's.
Well, and her explanation for it on the red carpet.
When she was like, I don't know, I just thought pussycat, and cats get into birds' nests. So now it's birds, but they're humans.
She's and also, hatching from the bottom.
The bottom half of it's the egg. But the egg's blue.
But the other faces are blue. No,
the closer I get to it, the further away I get.
It's a full-on Monet.
And so in that regard, I mean... Giving me Kennedy Davenport. Yeah. The trade didn't like the session. See what had happened was remember when she was the chicken with all the crystals? Okay, this is fantastic. It really is. But this just looks like clothes to me. And I guess that's actually what they because if anything, they sort of critique people when things look too costumey.
Yeah.
But I'm sort of like, oh, so you're just wearing designer clothes.
Yeah, I will say, I think the swag in this runway walk is unparalleled.
She's the one where they were all like, oh, are we lesbians?
Yeah.
Are we all lesbians?
I mean, I was kind of I'm very turned on by this runway walk.
Kate Blanchett is Katharine Hepburn.
100%. Or just Kate Blanchett and Ocean's 8. It's it's a very good, sexy, confident walk where you're basically horizontal in a wide leg pant.
I feel like for a gay drag queen to so successfully pull off lesbian is a level of refinement that is. I think she's one to watch. I think she's a bit of a dark horse.
I agree.
I don't get
it either.
At all.
I am also.
Why are they shorts?
The tits are
Why is she breathing her tits? Why is the pussycat doll wig on this?
Scuba diving.
I don't get any of it. No. I don't get the flesh latex.
The look is just extreme latex fetish bimbo to the max, I guess.
I mean, yeah, we said she looked like a sex doll just sitting backstage.
Hilarious. You can't see my legs under the table, but I was manspreading.
I didn't get it at all.
Yeah. No, yeah, the 1920s Dayglow flapper. It's mostly fine.
It's fine,
but
it's fine.
Yeah.
I absolutely don't hate it. I'll say that.
No, it's fine. I think this is also fine. Yeah. But I will say, I think even here, because I think she knows that she slayed her part of she's so much more confident, just the looks on her face and everything. She feels so much more herself. So I do appreciate that. I just really wish she would have gotten critiques.
It's just, it kind of feels unremarkable to me.
Yeah. It's just black with pointy parts. It's whatever. It's okay.
Yes, you're here. Yeah.
You did walk the runway.
I liked this one.
I like, once she said, I am the Staten Island fairy, I think that's funny, but I
didn't fully get why she was beat up.
No, some Staten Island maybe, but I am getting some Selena Titties energy from her, but like the stuff that we didn't get about Selena Titties, like the flamin' hot Cheetos in her crotch parts of Selena Titties.
I'd successfully forgotten that.
Yeah, so that's where I'm sort of like, what are you doing exactly? And we had another very earnest moment from her. She got picked last for gym class, and I'm just kind of, okay.
I mean, I would probably cry too. So it's the kind of thing that I can't really critique, but it's a lot of one flavor.
Not up. We've all been picked last before.
Yeah, but some people get picked last more frequently than others.
Those are the people who should nut up a little. She's just like, look, okay, she's just not my favorite. That doesn't mean I don't like her, but she's just not my favorite. I do like her tattoos a lot.
She acted it well.
She did, yeah. This bitch.
Literally, I just immediately gasped.
Yeah. Because at first I was like, oh, another cat. And then I was like, oh, okay, this is great. And then she went again. And then there's just like a whole vagina.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Because remember, it was like 2 weeks ago or something. Was it Plasma maybe? One of them had kind of almost a reveal, and I was like, I wish she had a merkin on. Which now, especially after that fucking runway show.
Yeah.
Did you see
I did.
The merkins?
Well, because I thought that they just let her go bush out.
Yeah.
And I was like, get it.
They were wearing these like weird, like
Rachel showed me.
Yeah. Okay, weird note to go out on. But yeah, so I guess, I mean, in spite of not loving the order in which we're losing queens, the season is giving me stuff to think about and talk about. And, you know, after a year or two where it felt a little bit more obligatory, I'm excited. Like, I'm sort of like, sweet, drag races tonight.
It depends on how we're going to be doing eliminations going forward, because we've also still got 2 immunity vials.
And they also can still give them to someone else, but we're not sure how that works.
So we'll see.
Okay, well, that was what we thought about this episode. And like and subscribe, and we'll be back next week.
Bye.